Mad Squad, what's howling? It's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. This is going to be my in-depth, shot-by-shot analysis of the Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War official trailer number 2. What I do in these in-depth videos is we pause every single shot. We literally go shot by shot. We look at every single shot and analyze every single shot to look at anything that might be new, to listen to any audio, predict any, make any predictions, any theories that we might have of what could be happening in a certain scene. And I want to inform you guys that these videos tend to be pretty lengthy because I don't just do a brief 5 or 6 general review of the trailer. We go shot by shot and we analyze this thing. So this could take up to like 30 minutes to maybe even an hour. It just depends on how long we sit on certain frames, certain shots, and talk about things and predictions and theories. I know there are already tons of reviews and analysis out there, but the point of you watching this is you're watching my review and analysis. And I may see things that others may not have seen. I might not see things that others did see. But the point is, you're just watching my review and analysis, and you're watching me break this thing down, because I haven't watched any breakdowns or anything. I want to go into this fresh. The only thing I've done is watch the trailer over a bunch of times. I haven't paused it at all in any certain frames and looked at anything, and I haven't watched any breakdowns. So I'm doing this pretty fresh. I've just seen the trailer a bunch of times, that's all. So let's get into this analysis.
The entire time I knew him,
Alright,
he
so
only ever had...
This, I noticed this, I think this, definitely not the first time, but the second time I watched the trailer, I noticed this. You have this spinning shot of New York City. Oh my, I said New York City. New York City. You have the spinning shot of New York City, and you have this thing right here, this little light streaking down. That is obviously Bruce Banner. There is no way it is not Bruce Banner. So what I predict is that we already know that Thanos boards that ship at the end of Thor Ragnarok. He boards the ship, is about to kill Thor. Loki probably most likely spares Thor's life by giving Thanos the Tesseract. He breaks it, puts the Space Stone in the gauntlet, and he might use the Space Stone to kind of, I guess, throw Hulk through it. And so that's how he gets back to Earth. He throws Hulk through. He makes like a portal using the Space Stone. Hulk gets thrown through it, and he comes crashing down to Earth in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal.
Nothing too much to notice in this shot, really. You kind of can't really make out where they're at. I would assume Wakanda. I would assume they're at Wakanda because in a later shot, we see Rhodey walking out of one of the Wakandian ships with Cap and the rest of Team Cap and some others. And at that time, he's not in his War Machine armor. He's just in his regular clothes. Right here, he's in the War Machine armor. And in an early shot in the first trailer, we see Bruce Banner in these exact same clothes when he's in Wakanda next to that Hulkbuster arm. So that's why I assume those two things I just said. That's why I assume that they're in Wakanda in this shot. I guess in a Wakandian lab or Wakandian facility. And I have absolutely no clue what they could be looking up at. Maybe at some of the Outrider ships coming down to Wakanda.
To wipe out half the universe.
Right here. You're not going to tell me this isn't Bruce Banner. It's a shot of the Sanctum Sanctorum. and you have this thing crashing, and we know that Bruce crashes into the Sanctum Sanctorum because of the first Infinity War trailer. So you're not going to tell me that's not Bruce Banner about to crash through the window of the Sanctum Sanctorum. You're not going to tell me it's not. It is.
If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he
Seen
can
that
do it
shot?
with the snap of his
It
fingers.
did look more polished, though.
Just like that.
I also want to talk about this dialogue that Gamora said. I mean, there's not too much to say about it, but it is obviously, very, very obviously referencing the Infinity Gauntlet comic. You know, in the comic, his goal is, well, he wants to impress death, and in an effort to do that, he wipes out half of the universe, literally with the snap of his fingers. That is very, very, very obvious reference. Great, amazing reference to the Infinity Gauntlet comic.
Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
Okay, so Tony, he's not talking to Gamora. By the background, I assume Tony is in the Sanctum Sanctorum. This is when Strange gets Tony to the Sanctum Sanctorum, kind of like summons him there, and Strange is telling Tony what's going on, like what Thanos is doing, explaining the Infinity Stones, and so Tony just asks the question, what's his name again?
Thanos.
Shoots to a different shot of Gamora saying Thanos. I don't know who she's talking to, but it's definitely not Tony. These are two different shots. You could tell by the backgrounds. Maybe she's informing the Guardians, or maybe Thor's there and she's talking to Thor, but it's definitely not a conversation between Gamora and Tony.
Thanos.
This shot. I want to talk about this shot because people had some questions about the armor that we see later in the trailer when Thanos is fully armored up. And they're saying that's like not his most recent armor though. That's a shot of a flashback. So his newest armor is in the 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But thing is, in this shot, this isn't a flashback shot. This shot by the background is obviously when Thanos boards the ship that Thor and Loki are on at the end of Ragnarok. He has the gauntlet and he has the Power Stone. So this is definitely not a flashback shot. So I guess that means that armor that he had in the past, he dons that again, because this doesn't look like the Guardians of the Galaxy armor. This looks like that flashback armor that he had. One of the best part, the whole trailer was the best part, but this part really had me going. So I'm kind of confused. So okay, a lot of people are on the bus with Peter. Peter sees this Q ship in the sky, but how does he manage to get out of the window without like the bus driver telling him to stop, without anybody seeing him? I'm confused about how he's able to pull that off. We'll just have to, there is no other explanation, but we'll just have to wait in the movie until we see the movie to find out how he's able to pull that off. But yeah, and I guess later in the trailer I'll try, because I want to talk about how I think this whole entire scene with Peter going up to the Q ship, how it'll play out. Puts on the mask. I guess he jumps off the bus and jumps over the bridge. Does that amazing swing. And I don't think there's nothing too much to talk about in this frame either. You have the Q ship above the sky and Stark Tower right there, which isn't anything new. We already knew that.
Advantage.
Now. So Peter goes up to the Q ship, and then at some point it starts going up in the sky, about to go out of orbit. So Tony notices the ship. I guess he notices that Peter is on the ship. Or maybe he doesn't notice Peter's on the ship. Maybe he just notices the ship itself, so he goes up to see what this is all about, and then he notices that Peter is there. But I'd feel more that he knows Peter's up there, and that's why he's going up towards it.
He's coming to us.
So at first I was wondering how is that able to happen? Because you have two individual thrusters with it. You have two individual thrusters because of his 2 feet.
He's coming to us.
But then those two individual thrusters turn into what? Like, how does that happen? I was wondering how does that happen, but I guess it's because this suit is like nanotechnology. So Tony, I guess he can just think, like he can think in his mind, okay, I want to turn both of my individual thrusters into one thruster. And I guess when he thinks it, the nanotech of the Mark 50 armor is able to just do as he commands. And obviously makes him go extremely faster. Not too much to talk about in this frame either. Definitely after Hulk has crashed through the Sanctum Sanctorum, I assume this is maybe I want to say after Tony opens the door to the Sanctum Sanctorum in the first trailer when everyone was screaming outside, but I'm not sure. Either way, it's just a shot Strange opening the Time Stone, maybe showing Tony the Time Stone, that like there's a bunch of different Infinity Stones.
Thanos wants. So that
shot of Wanda, just simple shot of Wanda.
So that's what we
and Vision. And you can tell by the background they're in Wakanda, and we pretty much know this because we've gotten some more news about the movie that the reason this whole battle is happening in Wakanda is because Cap thought it would be a good idea to take Vision to Wakanda to protect him, because Wakanda has pretty much the greatest defenses in the world on Earth in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, yeah. So basically that audio, Tony saying, Thanos is coming to us. He's coming to us, and we have what he wants. So we use these against him. We use these to try and, I guess, maybe lure him in certain spots to defeat him. Nice shot of Wakanda. Okoye, you have this one girl from... It was the girl who told Natasha in Civil War, move or you will be moved. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see how their communication will play out in this movie. Cap, T'Challa, and I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but I know who he is. So this is an amazing shot. This is an awesome shot, because in this one shot you have Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, James Rhodes, Bruce Banner, Vision, Sam Wilson, and how did I forget Scarlet Witch's actual name? Well, yeah, in Scarlet Witch, you have all these characters in the same shot. Now, think some of these people have never been in the same shot together, like, Rhodes and Banner. Like, some of the, like, it's just amazing to see all these characters, all these different characters in one shot. So this is when Cap brings Vision to Wakanda. I guess after Corvus Glaive. I guess Corvus Glaive tries to take the Mind Stone from Vision, and he's unsuccessful. I believe that Scarlet Witch and Cap and Falcon and Black Widow, they all come in to save Vision from having the stone taken from him. And then you have the final battle where Thanos tries to retrieve the stone himself. I guess Corpus Glaive fails at trying to get the stone. And I just noticed this. I wonder if she's looking at Black Widow, because she has like this kind of mean mug stare on her face. Alright, so in this shot, the first time I saw it, I was like, was she projecting? Is that the Soul Stone? But no, it's just vision. Because you can see his nose, his mouth, and chin right here. So she has him on the table, and I guess she's trying to find out how they can get the Soul Stone out of Vision, without, you know, killing him. All right, so in this shot, they're arriving at nowhere, the Collector's place, because like the background, everything looks similar to exactly how it looked in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. So they're arriving to nowhere, and I guess this is when they see Thanos interrogating, trying to get the Reality Stone from the Collector. I haven't seen the leaked footage, but apparently there's leaked footage of Thanos. The Guardians are going to the Collector, and Thanos is trying to get the Reality Stone from the Collector. So I don't know if they just go to visit the Collector because they need the Reality Stone, because they know Thanos is trying to get the stones, or if they go there because they've gotten word that Thanos is there. But in the shot, it's Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and I think Mantis is behind them. So that raises the question, where is Groot and Rocket? Well, I assume Groot, Rocket, and Thor went off somewhere, and so that's why you don't see them in this shot.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think
Guys, seeing Star-Lord and Tony Stark together with Drax and Spider-Man, this is beautiful. This is awesome. This is awesome. So, they're definitely on Titan, because you have this little structure that was noticeable in the first trailer as well when Thanos came from the portal. So they're on Thanos' home world. This is like Act 2 of the movie, I'd assume, because like it's said that the whole third act takes place in Wakanda. Like the last 45 minutes of the movie from what I've heard. So this is probably like the second act of the movie when the space team is going to try and go up against Thanos. And to me, the suit looks really amazing here. For me, it looks really, really good right here. I love how the suit looks. I think my favorite might still be the Mark 7 though. I really like the Mark 7, but yeah, this is definitely a really, really nice looking suit.
it's good, except
I'm excited to see how their Star-Lord and Tony Stark's, I'm excited to see how their communication is going to be, how they're going to kind of play off of each other, because this is Tony realizing that he's talking to someone who is just as sassy as he is. That's him putting himself in realization that, wow, this guy's like me. Is this how annoying I really am? You know?
it sucks.
Very nice shot of the Iron Spider suit. Like, I really like the CGI on the suits. For me, it does not look bad. For me, it looks very, very real. It does. And no homo, but Tom Holland, that is some incredible hair. That is some incredible hair. No homo. But I did notice right here, you can see it's kind of jagged, like along the lines of his neck, when you would think it wouldn't be. Like, it's kind of jagged, so that makes me think, does his mask, instead of taking it off, does it retract into his suit? I want to say yes, and I assume that is what it does. But then for me, that just raises the question: well, how does that work with his eyes? Then how does that work? His suit, his mask being able to retract with the eyes on the suit. That's my only question. But it does look like it definitely does retract. It would make things simpler and easier. And you don't, it like doesn't, in all these shots with his mask off, it doesn't look like he's holding his mask in his hands, even though we can't see his hands.
So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
Alright, so the Outrider ships have crashed down into Wakanda. You have all these Wakandian ships with all these soldiers being taken to the Outrider ships. You got War Machine and Falcon, Captain and Black Panther. And this shot, the first time we saw in the first trailer, the shot was zoomed in more, so we couldn't see Bucky. But now we do see him. His new vibranium arm, the gold outlining in it. This shot is like a comic book page come to life. Like, this looks beautiful. It does. It really does. You have the Hulkbuster armor. Obviously, it's Bruce Banner in it. No questions about that. Come on, guys. This is Bruce Banner. And you got Falcon, War Machine flying. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This looks like a comic page come to life. So, yeah, Banner in the Hulkbuster because, you know, in Ragnarok, he said if he turns into the Hulk again, he might not be able to turn back into Banner. So, he doesn't want to have to Hulk out. But, you know, he wants to contribute at least, so he gets in the Hulkbuster. And since he pretty much has the moves of the Hulk, he can move around as if he's the Hulk in this giant Hulkbuster without actually having to be the Hulk. Nice flapping cape shot. Very nice flapping cape shot of Thor.
The end is near.
Rocket. Alright, so I guess this is when Thor forging his new I just noticed something when the lightning flickered. Right here. Okay, either he's pretending to be at a rock concert, pumping his fists up in the air, or either Marvel is hiding something from us. I think you might have Stormbreaker in this shot, and Marvel CGI'd it out. I think that's what's going on here. This definitely looks like maybe the place where he had it forged, or maybe this circle, maybe it was out there. But yeah, it definitely looks like he has Stormbreaker in this shot, but it's edited out. So that's obviously the Q ship, and this looks like Titan, Thanos' home world Titan. It's all destroyed and everything, so I'm assuming that's what it is. And so, I guess after Spidey's on the ship, Tony goes up to the ship, Strange goes to the ship as well, and then, I guess like the ship controls itself, and so they stay on the ship to see where it goes. And it crashes on this homeworld Titan.
When I'm done.
Aw, would you look at that, baby Gamora. It's definitely Gamora, the hair, and she's green, so yeah.
Done.
So this is the armor, this is the same armor that was shown at the beginning of the trailer, except I believe in that beginning shot where Thanos is taking off the helmet, the armored pants, he doesn't have those on in the beginning shot of this second trailer because he just has like the regular kind of jeans on that we've seen him with in most of the promo artwork and the first trailer, but he still has this armored plate on in the helmet. So this looks like when he's going to destroy Gamora's home world, and he's going to take Gamora as one of his children. Because guys, remember, I've seen comments, I've seen people saying like, how come Cole Obsidian is taller than Thanos, but he's one of Thanos' children? How come Ebony Maw looks like way older than Thanos, but he's one of Thanos' children? You guys have to remember that Thanos doesn't have any biological children. These aren't his biological children. These are children that he takes from worlds and planets that he destroys. And that's what he did with Gamora. He took Gamora from her planet. I guess, like, you know, in the comics, he took her because he wanted to train her to be this great fighting warrior. And so that's exactly what he did in the MCU as well. And so these look like Chitauri, because look at the heads. Look at the heads. They look like Chitauri, but one of the things I noticed is these Chitauri look kind of different from the Chitauri that we saw in the first Avengers film. These Chitauri look bigger and more stronger, I guess. Like, I mean, you could tell that they look different. And you have like a green lady right here, a bunch of people, and the Chitauri are blocking them, so her world is definitely about to get destroyed.
Humanity will still exist.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Well, actually, he is fully armored. So he is fully armored in that first shot. He has the gauntlet here, so we know that it's in present time. And obviously, because, I mean, Thor's right here, so yeah, we know that. So he is full. He will be using that flashback armor as his present armor too. And so he boards the ship, and yeah, I guess he boards the ship. He knows that the Tesseract's on the ship. He's probably detected the Tesseract, and he's gonna crush Thor's head. He's literally like he's about to kill Thor in this shot. Like, think about that. He's probably about to, like, he could probably literally crush Thor's skull with his hand. So he's probably about to kill Thor in this shot unless he gets the Tesseract. And so then Loki spares him and gives him the Tesseract. And after Loki gives him the Tesseract, we have this shot. After he gives him the Tesseract, Thanos is like, okay, Black Order guys, take Loki hostage, surround him. And Loki is at spear point. Loki is at spear point by Proxima Midnight. So I'm fearing the worst for Loki. I really am. I think Loki could die in the opening acts of the movie, because in the first trailer and in this trailer, that's the only time we see Loki is on the Asgardian ship. So I think what happens is Thanos is about to kill Thor after he boards the ship looking for the Tesseract. Then Loki spares Thor by giving Thanos the Tesseract. Thanos breaks the Tesseract, gets the Space Stone, puts it in the gauntlet, uses the Space Stone to make a portal, throw Hulk back to Earth, and then he just just throws Thor somewhere in the cosmos, and then I don't know about Loki. I just fear the worst. And we get our first look at the complete Black Order. Everyone looks freaking amazing. Cole, Obsidian, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight. They all look amazing. And so and note it's funny because when you see Loki holding the Tesseract in the first trailer, it looks like he's holding a box. And then when you see Thanos holding the Tesseract, it's like he's holding a toy block, just because of how giant he is compared to Loki. And he's literally able to just break it with his bare hands. With his bare hands. right here, we have everyone readying up. I think we saw this shot of Bucky. I think we've seen this shot of Bucky cocking his gun in the first trailer, but this is like a different view of the shot. Cap readying his shield. And I want to talk about this shot because this shot in the first trailer is different. First, is zoomed out more. And second, in the first trailer, they edited out the Hulkbuster. They edited out that the Hulkbuster was going to be along with them. So now you have Panther, Cap, Bucky, and the Hulkbuster. I love this shot. I love this shot. You just get to see the whole transformation of the mask, and it looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, you have Widow, Cap, Bucky. That's not Panther. You could tell. I assume Panther's like at the very front. And then you have the Hulkbuster. And this is the Outriders. You have the ships right here, and you have the Outriders trying to break through the Wakandian barrier. This shot, the reason I love this shot so much is because it tells you how epic and how mass scale this Battle of Wakanda is going to be. First off, is the third and final act of the film, so that should tell you right there. And you have all of these Outriders trying to bust through this barrier. All these Outriders trying to bust through this barrier. I guess Strange meets with Star-Lord, Tony, Drax, Spider-Man, and Mantis. Because Mantis was with them. I don't know why she wasn't in that earlier shot. Maybe she was edited out, or maybe she was like just not visible in the frame, but she was definitely with them. She was definitely with them. So they're on Titan. Strange is using spells to make these stepping pads for Star-Lord. Star-Lord is dodging bullets or like lasers. Now, Thanos, those are like, that like looks purple. That looks purple almost. So what if it's Thanos using, well actually right here it looks blue and then purple as well. It could just be the aura from this purple making it look blue, but either way, what I'm thinking is, what if it's Thanos literally using just raw power of the Power Stone, using it like he has his fist out and he's just using it as a laser. He's just using like the raw power of the Power Stone. Alright, and so in this shot you can see the cape. So you got Strange, because he is able to fly at a degree. He is able to fly at some degree. Scarlet Witch. I can't really tell what's happening in this shot. I can't really tell.
Things should be.
This shot. Guys. When I heard Doctor Strange scream, when I watched the trailer and I heard Doctor Strange scream and I saw him in this predicament, that made my heart shatter. Like that, this looks bad. This looks bad. So, yep, Stephen Strange, all these pins and needles, which, guys, obviously this is a trailer, so they're not going to show us what happens. So they're not going to show the needles actually going in him. But think about that. All of these needles are actually going to be going in his arms, his back, and his face. Think about that. We just haven't gotten to see it yet, because obviously they're not going to show that in the trailer. They want us to be able to see that in the movie, and they don't want to spoil that. And some people are saying they don't think Ebony Maw is in this shot because of the next shot. The background looks different, but guys, that is clearly the ear of Ebony Maw. So they're both Ebony Maw, this shot and the next shot. is just two different scenes, I assume. What the second shot, I assume, is when he's on the Asgardian ship, when he's like saying shh. And also, like, I was seeing people saying that, like I said, I haven't seen too much because I wanted to do this breakdown myself and find things out myself, but I did see some posts and stuff on social media saying that these pins and needles were shown in Doctor Strange, and it showed that scene. So maybe Strange tries to use these against Ebony Maw, and then Ebony Maw manipulates Strange's mind, and he turns them back. He uses Strange's own spell against him, because Maw is able to do that. So you got Maw. Yeah, this is the same background from the Asgardian ship. And notice, well, or is it? Or is he on the Asgardian ship? Because that takes place at the beginning of the movie. But right here, Ebony Maw has the Time Stone. Don't at me about this. Don't tell me he doesn't. Look at this. That's the exact same design of the Time Stone necklace. He has the Time Stone. Don't tell me he doesn't. Don't tell me he doesn't. So maybe that's not because at that time Thanos only has one stone. When he boards the ship at the end of Thor Ragnarok, he only has one stone. So if this was a scene from when they're on the ship, Thanos would have already put the Time Stone in the gauntlet. So maybe these are the same shot. Maybe these are the same shot. And maybe this definitely doesn't look like the Sanctum Sanctorum either. So yeah, it might be the same shot. It's just what's behind Strange or what's behind Maw just looks really different. That scream though.
Things should be.
I can't. That scream has my heart shattering. But yeah, he's definitely retrieved the Time Stone, and now he's just playing with Strange, or he like trying to put him in a predicament to where like he won't be able to do anything for a while. But he's definitely already retrieved the Time Stone. I'm surprised Marvel wouldn't edit that out. I'm really surprised they wouldn't. I mean, obviously they don't want to show you the actual Time Stone in the Eye of Agamotto, but you can see the necklace, so I'm surprised they didn't even edit that out. Alright, so this is after they've broken through the barrier. The Outriders are starting to come. You have the whole army here. Hulkbuster already firing shots. Falcon. This is crazy. This was crazy. Look at the size of the Outriders. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So what happens is what I think happens, and what most of us think happens, is all these Outriders attack the Hulkbuster, and they're tearing the Hulkbuster apart. And Hulk, he doesn't have any other option but to Hulk out. He doesn't have any other option, so he busts out of the Hulk armor and then takes on all these Outriders with the raw strength of the Hulk instead of the Hulkbuster.
I hope they...
Guys, this isn't even... This is a trailer. This is a trailer, and this looks like finalized CGI. This looks like finalized CGI. And this is just a trailer. This is just a trailer. Look at the CGI. This looks amazing. This looks absolutely amazing. Amazing. That looks amazing. So they're on Titan.
Remember you.
Some people are saying he's talking to Tony. Some people are saying, what if he's talking to Spider-Man? I think he's just talking to Tony. You can see the armor shattered here, but in the game spot that was shown, you could see the nanotech, you know, the armor building itself. So, like, if it could build itself back, you would think Tony would have already done that, but maybe it got shattered to a point where he can't do that, or maybe the arc reactor broke, so he can't bring it, you know, use the nanotech to put the armor back together. And this, guys, I'm surprised people were thrown off at this shot, because, like, alright, so, guys, in this shot, no, Thanos is not lunging at Steve. How are people going to be... Look at the background in this shot, and then look at how Thanos is punching, and he's using his right hand. And then you have this shot, and Thanos is not punching, and he's using his left hand. How do some people get thrown off by that and think it's the same shot? So I guess this is Thanos lunging at Tony on Titan. It's lunging at someone. I definitely think it's Tony. Some people are saying, what if it was Spider-Man, because in the first trailer when Spidey got chokeslammed, but Thanos was like standing when he did that. So like he walks up to Spider-Man, picks him up, and chokeslams. And right here, he's jumping, he's lunging himself, and he's punching. Alright, so Cap and Thanos, both in Wakanda. Again, very impressive CGI. You can see the little hairs. You can see the little hairs sticking up. You could just see how big the gauntlet is, like, compared to Steve. It fits Thanos perfectly, but it's like the size of Steve's, like, it's the size of his face. So I assume... Wait. Okay, I'm going to go back to this spot, but there's an earlier shot I need to go to, because I think I may have noticed something. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, anyway, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on in this shot. So, what I think is happening is that this is... So, alright. So, the battle is going on. The Battle of Wakanda with the Outriders and the Wakandians. That's going on the front lines. That's still happening in the front lines. But then Thanos finds where they're hiding Vision in the final acts, or maybe close to the final acts. Thanos finds where Vision is, and, like, I guess he's beaten Vision up, like he punched him or something, to where he's on the ground, and Thanos is about to go up to Vision, grab him, and literally just rip the stone out of his head. And then, so, when he's grabbing... maybe Cap blocks him from grabbing Vision, but then again, it looks like he's just going straight for Cap. So, but maybe Vision is lying somewhere on the ground, and so Cap runs up to Thanos. Thanos is about to grab Cap. You can see Cap's shield in the shot. Some people were confused about why it looked like the shield was on this hand in the next shot, but then it isn't in this shot right here. Guys, it's a mirrored shot. It's a mirrored shot. You can see the shield right here, and plus his hair looks different in the next shot as well, so it's a mirrored shot. He still has... Guys, you have to think about this. This has to be, like, in the third act of the movie. The Battle of Wakanda takes place in the third act of the movie. So, but Thanos still only has 2 stones. He has the Power Stone, the Space Stone. Well, he might have the Time Stone, but we can't see his thumb. They've been good at keeping the thumb out of frame, because that's where the Time Stone lies. So we don't know if he has the Time Stone actually, but he definitely doesn't have the Soul Stone or the Reality Stone. They're empty right here. And he doesn't have the Mind Stone yet either. So, but then early in the film, we know that Thanos goes to the Collector for the Reality Stone. So either he gets it from the Collector, or either the Collector didn't have it, because remember that explosion at the end of the first Guardians movie. Some people were speculating, did the Reality Stone get lost in that? But I think he might still have it. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think of this, because this has to be in the final act of the movie. And if he still only has 2 stones by then. And right here, some people, okay, I'm going to tell you what I think. Well, first, what some people are thinking is that Steve was actually able to stop Thanos' punch. So what I think is happening is Thanos is like, okay, just another human, let me grab this guy. And so Thanos isn't like using his full strength or anything when he goes to grab Steve. But then he notices that Steve was actually able to hold off his hand. He wasn't expecting that, so he wasn't using his full force when he went to grab Steve. So Steve blocks his hand from grabbing him, and Thanos looks confused. Like, he looks surprised. He doesn't look like he's struggling. He looks like he's just kind of surprised, like, wow, there's a human on planet Earth that's actually this strong and would be noble enough and brave enough to actually confront me like this. I think that's what's going on. I don't think it's that Steve was actually able to hold off Thanos. Like, Thanos is just toying with Steve. Yes, Steve is strong, but Thanos is 10 times stronger than Steve. Well, I do know, like, notice his mouth move and notice when his eyes twitch. I don't know if that's him, like, it's either him legit trying to back off Steve, to like push Steve, or either it's him, you know, just kind of like playing with Steve, testing how long he can hold Thanos off. Great. I know this might sound kind of weird, but I know it's the little things. Great facial expressions by Chris Evans. This is some amazing acting here. Great facial expressions in trying to hold off Thanos' hand. And alright, so right here his eyes are like blue, but then this shot his eyes are like kind of orangish yellow. Either this could be just the lighting, like this could be the lighting of the shot, you know, the sun is behind them, kind of. Could be the lighting. A lot of people are saying this, and I just really don't think this. Some people are saying, what if Steve has the Soul Stone inside of him? I don't know. And some people were saying, like earlier, like maybe weeks ago, people were saying, what if Tony has the Soul Stone inside of him? People say, what if Heimdall has the Soul Stone inside of him? I just don't think it is inside a person. People can go inside of the Soul Stone. At least in the comics they can. But I don't think the Soul Stone can be inside of a person. But then again, the Reality Stone was in Jane Foster. But that's just because it's the Reality Stone. It can shapeshift itself. I just don't think the Soul Stone can be inside of a person. I don't know. But that's what a lot of people are thinking. But just because the majority thinks that doesn't mean you have to agree with that if that's really not what you think. And it's just not what I think. It isn't. I don't know why his eyes suddenly did that, but he does look pissed. I will note that, like, the captain looks pissed. He really does. So, like, maybe it is the soul. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what to think. And also, I almost forgot to say this. I'm glad I remembered. Also, what I think is happening in this, well, what could be happening is that in the game spot, when Bucky's rushing out of the bushes, some people are saying, what if Bucky's rushing out to help Steve and save Steve from Thanos? Kind of how Bucky went to help Steve out with that guy in the back alley of the movie theater in the first Captain America movie. As, like, heartwarming as that would be, I'm kind of on the fence with it, because in that shot of Bucky running out of the woods, there are the same two trees. You can see those same two trees in the very last shot of the first trailer where they're all running at the screen together. So it makes me think it's just Bucky running along with the crowd to be with the rest of the Warriors in that shot. But then again, you know, Marvel can just edit stuff in their trailers so that in the final product, in the final movie, the background could be completely different, like they did with Thor Ragnarok and the Hela scene when she broke Thor's hammer, and how they reshot that whole scene. So, yeah. That thing gives me goosebumps every single time.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Alright, you know we gotta talk about this. You know we gotta talk about this. So, Peter and Strange still has the time stone in this scene. It's closed, that's why you can't actually see it. It's closed, but he obviously still has it because Ma isn't wearing it yet.
Wait.
Peter, this is gold. This is gold. This is comics coming to life. Peter, we've wanted this. Peter Parker meeting Doctor Strange. Whoever knew we would see this in live action. Peter Parker meeting Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Oh.
Like I said, guys, like I said, this CGI looks clean. For me, this CGI looks clean. This looks really clean. You can see it, he has like, it's kind of like shoulder pads, metallic suit again. You have the edges. So that's why I think the mask kind of can retract down at will.
Using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
And guys, the thing that's funny, like, obviously it's like a end clip, you know, funny little clip. And some people literally just laugh at it just because, you know, it's kind of funny. But what's funny about it is, Peter was saying, oh, okay, we're just using our made-up names, like our superhero names. Well, then I'm Spider-Man. But what's the joke is, Doctor Strange, that's actually his name. Dr. Stephen Strange. He's a neurosurgeon. He's a doctor, and his last name is Strange. So, like, Doctor Strange, that's his actual name. That's what's funny about it, is that Peter didn't know that. Guys. Alright, so this looks like some huge, giant ship, maybe. Just because this looks like the front of a ship. I'm not sure. Lots of flying debris. Or floating. That's floating. Yeah, look at that. That's floating. Some of that debris is not even flying. It's floating. So, how's it floating? So, because with the Reality Stone, yes, it could float. But I don't think Thanos has the Reality Stone yet in this part of the film, because it's on Titan when he throws the moon, and he only has 2 stones in that part still. So I don't think it's because of the Reality Stone, and I don't know if the Space Stone or the Power Stone can do that. Maybe it's the atmosphere of the planet Titan. I'm not sure why some of the debris is literally just like floating there. But look at all the... Guys, you have to think about this. This is Spider-Man web swinging away from moon chunks. Listen to that. Listen to how crazy that sounds. This is Spider-Man web swinging away from the moon. Or a moon. This is Spider-Man swinging away from chunks of a planet. Think about that. Because what I think is happening is this is after that picture of Thanos throwing the moon. I haven't seen the footage yet, but there was a picture I finally got to see. And so, like, it looks like he's bringing a planet in, like he's using the Space Stone to open a portal and then using the Power Stone, like in the Space Stone together, to bring a planet in through this portal. And then he just used, like, the Power Stone to break the planet apart and lunge it at the Avengers. And so then you have Spider-Man web swinging away from it. I think that's what all these chunks are. Spider-Man web swinging away from chunks of a planet. That's the most craziest, most amazing, one of the most amazing things we've seen Spider-Man do. And he's got the web swing, like, look at this, let me just play this whole entire scene. He has got the web swinging down pat. He's got down the web swinging. Look at, and the way, like, he moves too, like, the way Spider-Man is supposed to move when he web swings, like when he does little flips and barrel rolls and stuff, you know, to dodge things. He's got it all down packed. This is like 2 years after Civil War, 2 or 3 years after Civil War. So this is a more experienced Spidey. We do have to think about that. Obviously after the Vulture, he hasn't fought any big A-list rogue villains, but he has obviously probably been like stopping crime and stuff as Spider-Man, swinging around New York City. So obviously during these 2 to 3 years, he's more experienced now. He's got the web swinging down pat. He's got the fighting more down pat than he did before. And even though he'll still have that mentorship, mentoree type relationship with Tony Stark, you know, he's still a more experienced Spider-Man. And I hope we get to see more of that in this film. Alright guys, that was my in-depth shot-by-shot analysis of the Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War official trailer number 2. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown that I did. I told you guys it was going to be pretty lengthy, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe you found something that you didn't notice before. I hope you enjoyed some of my theories or my predictions of what could happen in the film. And I enjoyed doing this breakdown so much, and I am so excited for this film. I'm going to be losing my mind in the theater. It is going to be absolutely crazy. If you enjoyed my video, let me know what you thought. Links to all my social media will be down below in the description box. Smash the like button. Share this video with anyone you feel might enjoy. If you are new around here and you like what you see, tap the subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell to join the Mad Squad on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. My name's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out. Mad. Strong. Together.